Yeah, buddy. Ooh, what is going on, everybody? We are back at it with episode 4 of the subscriber showcase. All right, we're going to be hitting it up here. Now, this one is going to be a special, unique kind of an episode because I was, after getting my first 2 subscribers initially, I had about a good 10 to 14 days where I couldn't find anybody. So I made a call over to my man BlackyBear here, aka Cyber and B, another YouTuber, just saying if he wouldn't mind doing a little, if he wouldn't mind allowing me to showcase his units and give him a little insight, little feedback, which is always kind of, we're all kind of wishy-washy about it because, with feedback comes some constructive criticism. And of course, him and I, one thing that we can relate to is we're both very, very open-minded people, and we are very well aware of the fact that there's always going to be somebody that knows a little bit more than us, and which has led us to the knowledge that we both know today. So, I thought I'd chime in on some of the stuff that I've learned over the past 5 months that might be able to help him out, and hopefully, if some of you guys got some of these similar units, you can use some of this talk to your advantage so we can go ahead and get to it. So this will be a little bit different, guys. If you were looking for the analyzation plus the arena fight, I'm apologize that I don't have an arena fight for you today. It's just going to be the analyzation of the arena defense. Okay, we're going to be focusing on that. So it shouldn't be too long of a video, but we'll go ahead and get right to it. All right. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about his main units that he's using for arena defense and where he has them set up. We're going to go ahead and start off with his leader. He is using Orochi as his leader. This is the Awakened Wind Ninja. Orochi is set up in a nice Rage Blade combo, utilizing a higher crit rate in addition to attack. So that is going to help with landing the continuous damage on this particular unit. If you see here, he throws 6 stars and inflicting continuous damage for 1 turn as you get a critical hit. I normally see this here, attack, crit rate, and attack, but I do see attack, crit rate, and accuracy. And that sometimes is utilized for, I think, high-end PvP in addition to dungeon. Utilizing Orochi for B10 giants definitely will help, farm giants. Of course, this is prior to the nerf or the upcoming changes, whatever. But looking good here. You can tell he's been working on leveling up his skills, so doing really good here. His next up is probably going to be one of the 2 units that he would consider his bread and butter. He was one of the people that jumped on the Wind Living Armor bandwagon when the Fire Living Armor was available for a 7-day dungeon. I, for one, got about 20 pieces, but I needed it for fodder for my next 6 stars, so I didn't think about taking this route and collecting these units for the win one. But as you can see, the time and effort that he put into getting the units and putting them into his wind armor definitely paid. If anybody has seen his videos, they know that this is by far his biggest damage dealer, which comes from his 3rd attack here at Thunderstrike. Does damage according to his defense and ignores the target's defense if it's lower than 50%. So with him having over 2,200 defense, the unit has to have less than 1,100, and he'll be ignoring defense, which is pretty much every single 6-star non-defense unit. So you're not going to see a lot of people with over 1,000 defense that are under 6-star or whatever. So really, really cool here. Like I said, he got all the skills maxed out. Did a good job farming the fodder. So this guy is definitely on point. Obviously he'll be looking for some more 6-star runes to make him even stronger. But again, he got so much good substats here: hit point percentage, defense percentage, that even though he doesn't have 6-star runes, he's definitely able to do quite a bit of damage here. So next up, rocking the Rage Blade setup here with Lucian. Everybody knows Lucian, known for his awesome abilities, but more importantly, the amputation magic, ignoring defense, and inflicting damage for all enemies. This is the 3rd unit in his setup. And let's see, then we got, of course, this guy gets a leader skill, but obviously we're not paying attention to that. So this is his third unit. He is working on the skills as well, and he is doing really, really good. It looks like he got some bad luck where all the skills went to the first two, and then now he's working on amputation matters. So at least he knows he's going to be getting it there. All right. Again, sorry, wrong one. Clicked the wrong one. So his next one here, very, very lucky guy. He was fortunate enough to get the light priest, Epicon priest. And this priest is the backbone of his team. This is the third only support unit, and rightfully so. It has a nice heal here, just like the other Epicon priest, healing 2 people for 25% of 15. Of course, that recovery can increase once he levels it up. And then he has the 60% revive with the defense for 3 turns. So this is pretty darn huge. Of course, I'd obviously like to see this skill get maxed out. There's no reason why, if he's going to be using it primarily for his arena defense, that he can get it maxed out. I'm assuming that he is attempting to get it maxed out. He obviously has some skills in there, but he just hasn't been fortunate enough to get fodder here. As you can see, there's no Epicon priest fodder. So hopefully with some summons, he can get some more fodder and get it all maxed out. So that is his team. Orochi as the lead, the Wind Living Armor, the Wind Joker, and then Iona. So my first basic criticism here is he is currently, basically he has a leader for speed, which is, and I'm assuming in his mindset, because it's giving the 30% attack speed to the wind monsters. That is why he's using it, because his strongest wind monsters are speed, and so he's trying to get the benefit of this. But my first criticism or thing to think about here on that is that consider this in general for all of you guys, because this is why I'm basically doing this video. This is a speed leader, okay? And like I said in my arena critical thinking episodes, when you're trying to set up your team, set it up so that it benefits the majority of the units, right? You're trying to shoot for all 4 if you can, but if not, at least 3 or more, okay? He is kind of using that concept as far as, hey, I got this speed leader for wind, so let me go ahead and enhance the speed of the units to increase their speed. But let's go ahead and rewind a little bit, okay? This is not a speed-based team, okay? So if you take a look at his raw stats here, 30% of 100 speed is 30 speed, which is great. But he is in the later stages of the game, going against teams that are going to be rocking 175, 200, 225 speed. A 30% increase in speed lead, in my opinion, is not going to be a viable option for a leader, because the speed that it enhances is not going to maximize the damage or the potential of these units. If this is an arena defense where you're going to be going against, you're not worried about the increased speed that you get from these two, because their speed is relatively low, and you're bringing more speed than they will bring. So you're not going to be able to maximize on their defensive or damage output, so to speak. Okay. What can be another option here? I would like to see him give it a go with Amon as one. Okay, so if he wanted to keep Lucian and the Living Armor in there, I would like to see maybe Amon in there and try a 2 attack, or obviously this is defense, but he uses it for attack. 2 attack, 2 support units. Normally I'm all about a all offensive or all defensive kind of setup, but I've noticed that with the up and coming runes and some of the setups that people have kind of formulated, that there's definitely more of a reason to kind of go a hybrid setup with 2 and 2, because a well-rounded team is really, really strong, and it's been showcased quite a bit in the higher stages of the game. So why would I recommend this one? For one, he does an extremely good job of focusing on the units that he wants to utilize in endgame and making sure that they are skilled up. So let's take a look. Okay, we have a violent set is the first thing to go ahead and talk about. Violent set with the hit points and the crit rates all the way around. Okay, so that's good. So not only is he going to be healing everybody every turn, but he has an opportunity to heal more, okay, because of the additional turns. In addition, which to me, this is the biggest thing right here, he has maxed out the first skill, which is going to be the attack that is going to be used mainly. This skill has a provoke enemy for 50% chance, but when it's increased, if you take a look, you got what, 10, 20, 35, right? Is that right? 35? I think so. Yeah, 35%. So he increases this skill to 85% chance to provoke a unit. When you have an opportunity to provoke a unit, you take them away from whatever he's trying to do. That can be a unit that is strong against another one of the elements on your team. That could be a unit that needs to get off its attack gauge increase or needs to get off a buff or whatever, but you force him to attack, thereby taking away his right to do what he wants to do. Okay, so it's not a stun, but it's like a quasi-stun, right? Because even though you're getting attacked, you're still taken away from his ability to use what he wants to do. And when you can crowd control like that, that is beastly, especially when you have 85% chance. So even though you may not get it all the time on the first attack, because he has a violent spec, he has the opportunity to attack again and make sure that that lands, which I think is really strong. Okay. In addition, he does have the defense skill, right, that increases defense by ally monsters by 30%. So if he goes with his top 4 units right here that are 6-star, he not only gets the opportunity to keep his units healed, he has the opportunity to increase the defense of Iona, which is actually not too bad. He has 760 some defense, so a 30% increase actually is going to help out pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. So I definitely like to see him give that a go for one setting. If not that, when he gets his Fire Joker all runed up and well done, I honestly wouldn't mind seeing him swap this Joker in for maybe either because his limited armor is super strong. It's hard to get away from that. But I'd like to see him probably try to switch it out for Lucian. His Lucian is super strong, but Lucian his strong. It's kind of the same trend that you'll see with a lot of different units. The strongest unit on your team can be also the strongest liability because of the fact that he is so low hit point, lower defense, or whatnot. So he does a lot of damage, but he gets taken out quickly. So he's kind of a glass cannon. 10,000 hit points at the end game is going to be really, really hard to manage because a lot of people are doing AoEs upwards of 10 to 15k or single target attacks upwards of 20k when they're ignoring defense. So a lot more reason to lose a unit. With this one, even though he might not get off his bombs right away, if he can at least get the opportunity to get his bombs on the first or second turn, especially with the fact that he has 59% accuracy in addition to the 50% that's given from this, and he gets his attack power really, really high, upwards of the 2,000 range, he can really do some nasty damage here. And of course, this unit being a defense-based monster, he's going to have a little bit more defense than Lucian would. This is 6-star versus 5-star, so that's why the comparison is a little bit off. But the increase is going to be, allow for a little bit more survivability. Notice that his, obviously with this rune set that he utilizes, he tries to increase the hit points here in addition to the attack and whatnot. And so I think it's going to be a nice overall combination for doing this. And I'd like to, maybe down the road, if he doesn't get, better units to kind of stick with this kind of setup, I wouldn't even mind seeing like a violent focus, because again, the chances of you getting the skill that you want off on the right away, first attack doesn't always happen. But at least if he has the opportunity to, get the bombs off a little bit more, or get the opportunity to cast a couple spells and then have that bomb reset a little bit quicker, that would be pretty awesome. So that's another option there. Maybe going Amon, Iona, Living Armor, then JoJo. I think that'd be a nice little combination there. You don't see a lot of people bringing units offensively to remove group hostile effects. They might be able to remove one or two, but they can't remove them all. So that's why I like JoJo for the arena defense. Again, if you wanted to play around with, like I said, kind of my old school, like all-out defensive stalling kind of a team, you got, since his 6-star units are so good, Iona and Amon are so good, so strong, that I even like to see. I've been shying away from utilizing Rena, but I just noticed that he got all the skills maxed out, so his healers are really decked out. I'd like to even see him try Amon, Iona, Rena, and then Belladon. When he gets in maxed out. Why? By having Belladon in there, he'll be able to take on the benefit of having 30% extra defense. And if you all didn't know, he is a defense-based monster. So again, he's going to have a relatively high amount of defense. And he actually has his unit spec'd Swift Guard with defense percentage on 1 and then 2 hit points. So if he gets this guy's unit defense up, he can really take advantage of the defense boost here. So, and then of course, even on top of that, because he is 3 out of 4 units being light, they're all neutral to whatever the attacker is going to be bringing. So he doesn't have to worry about his team being weak against whatever element he brings. And, in all retrospect, it really doesn't matter because this is an all-out defensive team, just kind of a stall team. I normally am not a fan about it, but because he has 3 quality light defensive support units here, I really wouldn't be surprised if he did, reasonably well. Again, if he gets these all 6-star too, I think this is going to scare a lot of the more offensive teams away. Even if you got, speed and got the thing going on with the controlling this and that, whatever. 2 out of his other 2 units are going to have quite a bit of resistance. So he's not going to be too concerned about somebody landing everything. Obviously, he'll have some weak points here with the low resistance here and there. But again, the opposing team or the attacking team is not going to know that, and they're probably going to try to go for random units, but they're not gonna really know what to really focus on first off, because there's just so much heal power. I mean, an attack that heals everybody, another 2 heals that heal roughly 30%. When it's all upgraded, 30-35%, and then you got the big group heal with attack bar increase. So even if you wanted to swip this out for a speed room and go like speed defense hit point or speed defense, that would help too. There's definitely a more of a reason to go even more speed on this guy. But man, he got so many opportunities here that I would like to hopefully see him give it a go. It really depends on what his game plan is for, the next, how do I say, I don't know what his game plan is for what is he doing in arena or whatnot, but that would be superb, I think, to try. And then last but not least, the last thing I can go ahead and shout out, because, again, I know I'm going back and forth because, trying to set up his units based on his light team. He is one of the few that have all of these put together. So he has not only the 2 awesome healers here in Belladon. If you guys didn't see in the back burner here, and I do see Neil, but I'm actually going to surpass that. I see my man here, Darian, which is the Awakened Light Vagabond. So if you guys haven't seen this unit, a unit that provides 15% damage reduction. So this will help out tremendously, because if you throw him in for the arena spot, then you got an opportunity to every unit take advantage of this light defensive skill. And of course, he is a hit point monster, so I think that'll help out a little bit because, well, he's a deep defense monster, but normally people set up his skills based on, max HP because he has the attack on the first that's determined by his match HP. But if he goes HP and if you mix it up like Energy Guard, he can take advantage of having a higher defense and then taking advantage of the of this leader skill. So a lot of cool things to try. I hope he takes it with a grain of salt because regardless of how perfect or how not perfect my theories sound, it all kind of depends on putting it down, making the effort to level them up, rune them up, get them in there and give it a go. We know that the people at our level, which he's rocking about 1,800 arena points most times out of the week, they're going to be coming at him with a variety of 6-star units that are really, really strong. Generally speaking, we are losing 80% of our arena defense fights, but sometimes, like most, you see people that don't have a lot of arena defense losses or wins because people just avoid them because their team appears to be really, really strong or a really nice combination. So when people see synergy, they sometimes skip the teams. How many times have you seen YouTubers get away from Chloe teams because they don't want to mess with a high-speed Chloe? How many times do you see a team get away from a hit point percentage-based team because they just don't want to deal with the long fights? If I were to see these units utilized in a team and they were all 6-star leveled up there or whatnot, I probably would shy away too because my team is about doing quick burst DPS and get it done as soon as possible. If I have to sit here and try to go for a longer fight, then it's not going to be worth it in my opinion because me being offensive, I'm not going to be able to bring a healer in addition to 3 units and still do relatively well. I have to bring 4 attack units to do as good as my team is set up to do, so it's definitely one of those teams that can make people shy away, which will in turn keep the amount of points that you lose in defense down to allow you to keep on steadily going up in your arena thing. But you're not gaining 200 points in arena in a day and then losing 150 overnight because you're just getting attacked so much. So real cool there. A lot of cool units. I hope you don't mind the feedback here, but I wanted to really do this for you because I see some units in here that just look sexy. Ugh, I just want to play with them. No homo, okay? But just want to get a chance to give you some good feedback here, and hopefully you enjoy it. So again, a lot of different combinations. You can go these top 4 here. You can go the all-out defensive team with Belladon. You can mix out and eventually get Darien in there to go the whole mono light team. Or you can even swap out with Amon, Copper, and then when JoJo gets leveled up there with a lot of attack power, he needs a lot more than that to be considered to throw him in here. More along the lines of what you got for Lucian. If you can get his attack to be as high as Lucian's, he would definitely be a viable option to switch out for Lucian. But because Lucian is a lot more stacked, he's still a reason to keep up in there. So take note, guys. If you got a lot of support units out there, no one likes attacking the all-out defensive teams just because they're a pain, and so it's definitely worth something to do for somebody like him who has a lot of heals, a way to revive if he loses a unit, and a way to mitigate even more damage due to a defensive buff from this guy. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoy this little arena defense talk. I apologize again that we weren't able to get a arena attack in here. I haven't found BlackyBear yet, but we are within the same arena points. He's around 1,800. I'm around 1,770. So hopefully in the future we will find him. And if we do, we will go ahead and go ahead and give him a little attack here and see how we do. Hopefully, if we do find him, it's sooner than later because I don't want him to use this. To use these concepts on me, against me, and make me have to suffer a long fight. So, but that's it, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. This is Childish for ChildishPlays, checking out for episode 4 of the Subscriber Showcase. Stay tuned for the next video. Take care, and we'll see you next time.